Hey, good morning. Uh, it's still morning here, but I am in Washington State. It is still morning. So, good morning wherever you are, and good afternoon, good night as well. Uh, if it is night time at your end, good night. That means you get ready for bed. Some of us just waking up here, and it's been a lot going on, but we're just grateful that we are still here, that we can be doing what we're doing. Uh, it's been a blessed week for a lot going on, as I said. A lot going on back home in Liberia, a lot of stories, a lot of things going on. But in spite of all those things, we don't have to lose sight of what we have to do. We have to keep our focus. We have to keep grounded. Well, that's been a difficult situation with Liberia and Guinea at the border, which is very, very constrained. We've been neighbors with Guinea forever since I was born and before I was, and I've never really seen a major issue with Guinea and Liberia and Ivory Coast. I know Sierra Leone during the wartime we kind of like spilled over to Sierra Leone, but that spillover didn't happen between Liberia and Guinea. And we'll have very good relationship with those countries over the years. So I'm just praying, hoping that we maintain that relationship in the sub-region and between the countries, and maintain that African solidarity and brotherly love amongst between the West African countries and our neighbors and ourselves. War is destructive. It's not time for war. It's time for peace. It's time for building. And but let us just keep both countries in our prayer and the leadership that they will see reason why uh, they will see reason to seek the path of peace and diplomacy over war. War is very costly. We don't have money for healthcare, for development, and for anything else. What more we want to get into war? So the limited resources we have is going to be used and directed to fighting war. And then at the end of the day, we're not going to be getting uh, development as it is. So let us not inflame anger. Let us speak peace. Let us talk about peace. Let us talk about reconciliation. Let us find reason, a place where we can all come together. And what our situation is, what our conflict is, let the leadership meet and settle those dispute through diplomacy instead of through war. Okay. So let us not inflame, that, oh, well, we can fight you, you don't need your army, and then the rest of the stuff, because it's like war is not good. We fought war before, and we see other thing. And one more country in a country fighting war. They might displace people, moving people from their homes, and, death and casualties and the rest of the stuff that come with that. And then the central government becomes distracted from development projects for the citizens. The limited resources go down towards the military and fighting war and buying weapons of destruction. So that's not where we want to go as a country, as a people. I just want to caution all of us as we passionately engage with these discussion online. Let us keep in mind that diplomacy is the only way, that peace is the only way we need to go. Okay, so let us be mindful of that. Let us not be strong men. Let us not be heroes. Uh, Let us use the resources we have diverted towards developing Liberia. So buying weapons to kill our African brothers, right? We're talking about Africa, like we should be living as brothers. People, I mean, there's cross, the people in Liberia that got family in Guinea, marriages, education, and just we interconnected. I mean, everywhere you go in the sub-region, mostly our neighbors, interconnected, right? They got Kisipo in Guinea, they got Manopo in Guinea, they got Penepo in Guinea. So it tells you how much interrelated and interconnected we are. So what's the point of us fighting each other for a piece of land, for a patch of land? that will all die one day and leave here and go. So what becomes of the land when you die and go? Like, what is it? So let us not allow these things to further divide us as a people and as brothers. We have to see it that way. We have to see the bigger picture and not get engaged in something that will destabilize our country and the region at large. So let's keep that in mind as we have these discussions online and talk about all of these different issues. Okay, so that I got out of my chest. I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on with Retail Tech Foundation. It's been almost 6, 7, 8 months since we launched our project in Grand Peter County. You know, we started in Nima County, Retail Tech Foundation. We launched our first computer lab in Sanikole, graduated our first cohort of students last November in Sanikole, which were a total of 87 students. And our second cohort started in January. So second cohort is going to have pretty close to 150 students for the second cohort as well. It's progressing very fine and steadily. And we embarked on a project for Grand Judah County because our goal and aim at Retail Tech Foundation is to expand access to digital, education and skills throughout the length and breadth of Liberia. So, in order to realize that goal, we have to provide, of course, access to these skill training, right? So you cannot provide skill training in the absence of an IT lab or equipment, so to speak, right? Even if I don't have an IT lab, I have to make available computers. I have to make available internet or Wi-Fi or get internet so that the students get access to those digital training, skills training online if it's not physically available. So in line of that, we have been working uh, to make sure that we can have one IT, one computer training lab in each of the county capital cities. So Grand Gita being our second stop after Nima County. So we started that project a couple of months ago. We've been working very hard behind the scene. George and his team in Grand Gita at the Grand Gita Youth Center. The youth center belongs to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So they contacted us and we've been working with them, as I said, from behind the scenes, doing a lot of working and coordination. So we were able to successfully complete that lab. So the lab is currently completed. I will bring you pictures, but I'll bring you pictures in the course of this week. I will be posting some pictures online, doing a little bit more video once the setup is complete. But all of our renovation work when it comes to the lab is all done. The tiles down, the floor, the painting is done, the decks, are already made. Uh, the equipment for the lab setup, the laptops, the projectors, the printers, everything we need for that is already in Zwedru as I speak to you, and it's being set up as I speak to you. So we'll be bringing pictures of those things. But the big news is that we are launching. There's a grand opening happening in Zwedru uh, on the 3rd of April 2026. That is next month. We'll be launching, officially opening that lab in Grand Judea, making it available for the citizens and individuals within that region to acquire digital skills. So we are empowering Grand Judea through digital skills, right? So it's going to be open to anyone, any individual, young people, females, old people, professionals, students as well. So all you need to do after we launch, the launching programs will be on a Saturday, I think, which is April 10th, on a Saturday at the youth center in Zwedru. But currently registration is in progress. Today is the 17th. We are enrolling students for the program which is the classes are set to start on the 6th of April. So once we launch on the 3rd, the next phase will be to start classes, obviously, right? Because the lab is ready to go. And we currently have two instructors for the training center in in Zwedru. And we also have a lab manager who will be responsible for running the day-to-day activities of the lab. And the two trainers will be responsible for the different conducting the classes and training and imparting the necessary skills that the students or the individuals attending the program will need. So that will be happening and starting immediately after the launching on the 3rd of April. We will be starting classes. That's why the registration process is currently in progress while the lab has been set up and everything's been prepped and ready to go. So that once the launch is done on the 3rd of April, by the 6th, which is the following week, uh, classes will immediately start. And so, if you're living in Grand Judah, you have a family in Grand Judah that wants to take advantage of digital skills training, let them know they can stop by at the Zwedru Youth Center and pick up a registration form. And on that form, you see a list of all the classes and all the training that we do provide at that particular location. So take advantage of it. And as we said, our programs are free. We are not charging for these programs. And the reason is very simple because not many or majority of our folks can afford $200-300 a month or for 3 months or for 6 months to attend these programs. So we thought it wise that in order to have a lot of impact, to have more impact, and to have more students coming, individuals to get advantage of the program, we have to make it free. So Reading Tech is an NGO, it's a non-governmental organization, obviously. So we fund ourselves, and currently we don't have like sponsors. So my co-founder and myself, D. Mac Wilson, we are currently funding all of our activities and everything else that we do. So the program is absolutely free. All you need to do, if you are within the location where we have the lab, you just stop by at the youth center at that particular location and pick up your registration form, fill it out with your names and the rest of the detail that the registrar will require from you. And then once you do that, you're gonna slot you into a class section. We're gonna have 2 3 sessions, two sessions a day. So we're gonna start in one of those sessions for your classes. So that's all you need to do. And then once you start for your classes, if your classes are 8 in the morning to 10, all you need to do is to make sure to show up for your class every day. That's all you need to do, and it's absolutely free. There's no registration fee. There's no fee for materials. There's no fee for anything because we realize that the country is hard. I mean, things are difficult, so we cannot put a lot of burden, on people. Oh, buy this, oh, buy that, oh, bring this, oh, bring that. But the caveat to that, not because it's free, then people will think that, oh, well, once something is free, that means it's watered down. They're not going to be serious about it. They're not going to give you a lot of substance. And that's one thing I've been passionate about is being very intentional about what I do. And mostly when it comes to IT, I mean IT myself. I started from a very humble beginning in Ghana on the Virgin Camp. I taught classes myself. I taught a lot of librarians. Some of my students will see me and say, yeah, dog, he used to be my teacher at the computer school, I went to on the camp. So I did that for a while in Ghana. So I understand and I know exactly, what substance can a student or individual get from a particular computer program because we realize that most of the computer programs that people attend, you go there for 3 months, you go for 6 months, and at the end of those 6 months, there's no substance, right? They cannot even open a computer to power on to log into a program and confidently design a report or put a report on a document or an essay or the TC, 100-page document stuff like that. They cannot do that. There are hundreds of thousands of people who have gone and paid a higher money, $200-300 at these computer schools, and at the end of the day, they come from those places. They cannot represent, or they cannot give you an output. I mean, to some extent, it depends, on the students as well. But if this institution is teaching something shallow, then how am I supposed to get, some substance if what you're teaching is very shallow? So that's for squarely on the institution or that school that is teaching and that particular computer skills. So we design our curriculum very detailed and very hands-on kind of computer training, because at the end of the day, it's not about completing a computer training course or a digital skill training course. It's about being able to apply, what you've learned during that 6 months or during that 4 months or during that 2 months or during that 1 month period. Because at the end of the day, you have to take something with you. So as I said, we're very intentional about that aspect about it. So you realize that in our curriculum, at the end of every topic or every model as we have it in our curriculum, there is a hands-on, practical, real life hands-on work or project that the students will do and be monitored by the instructors. So you come to class, you learn about a topic. Let's say this week we might be talking about formatting paragraphs. Formatting paragraphs, talking about line spacing, character, and cap letters and all kind of stuff about paragraph spacing and stuff, right? Or paragraph. So at the end of that, indenting your paragraph and everything, at the end of that particular topic or that model, there is a practical work that the students will do by themselves to apply the skill or the knowledge that they've learned during the previous weeks. To complete that work, how do I format a paragraph? How do I underline? How do I give double spacing? How do I give single spacing? How do I indent my paragraph? The hanky indent and the first line indent. So all of those things at the end of that model, the students are given the opportunity with a project to actually implement what they've learned, right? So that reinforces what they've already learned, and they give them that hands-on experience, and they can also see where they can apply these things in the real world, right? So it's not just abstract. It's not just, oh, you can do a report, but at the end of your, and then at the end of this, for example, for Microsoft Word, at the end of Microsoft Word, there's a huge, very big project that the students will have to do. You do a report, formatting the report, the first page, the second page, and the whole like 5, 10, 15 pages of document that you have to format. You do a certificate, you do a brochure. So you see, and you do a letter, proper letter in Word, and see how it's formatted. You want to do all those things yourself. So at the end of the day, the students have a concept of how and where they can use these skills they've learned in the real world. Because during the process or during the training, we give them practical examples at the end of each model how these things can apply to a real world situation. And at the end of the day, that's what you want from an IT training. At the end of the day, that's what you want from a digital skill training program. That students can have an understanding of how can I apply this thing? Where can I apply it? Where can I use this skill? Right? So with that knowledge, students are equipped and they have that confidence to be able to use those skills and apply those skills that they've learned. So our programs are very detailed. We do the introduction to the computer, of course, which covers what's the computer, what's the evolution of it, how far it has come, the different type of computer, what make up the computer system, the hardware, the software, the user, and the different type of users, the different type of operating systems, the different type of software, system software, application software, the kind of hardware that would have the different, hardware, the import, the output, processing, the rest of the stuff. So students dive into all those things and give them an understanding of what IT is. And give them that appreciation. We dive a little bit about cybersecurity in the introduction. So we dive into most of the IT aspect of IT, networking, internet, and the rest of the thing, and give the students a holistic understanding of what IT is and what it encompasses and what it is. And that gives them an appreciation. And then after that, we move into the Microsoft Office suite or package. We do Microsoft Word, we do Microsoft Excel, we'll do Microsoft PowerPoint. And then we're doing some cybersecurity training. We're doing some online training where people are learning, students are learning how to search online, how to do research, cybersecurity, how to stay safe online. We're doing learning about how to create an email. If they don't have an email account, how do I create my email account? How do I check my email? And just those are life skills that you will need, right? If you work in an office, you have an email. How do you check your email? How do you send an email? Some have you done that before? And our labs are all equipped with internet. We are working on getting Starlink at both Sonic and Zwedru Center, but Sonic will currently have, I think, Lone Star or one of those companies like internet package that we use there. But we're replacing that with our Starlink as soon as pretty soon, and then we're also get our Starlink down to Zwedru as well, so students can have that experience of how to browse online, right, safely, how to go online to do research, and how to just you want to you're writing your papers, able to do online research to search for scholarly materials and not just Google search. But there's a specific ways you can search for things online, and that you can get the actual things you're looking for, right? Real substance, and filter out the trash and get the actual thing you're looking for. So our programs are actually detailed, very, very detailed, and we're intentional about it. And as I said, we are launching and opening the lab on the 3rd of April. And that program is going to be at the Zwedru EU Center. And registration is currently in progress. So if you have a family member in Zwedru, a grandchildren who wants to take advantage of the digital skill training program, let them know to stop by the youth center in Zwedru. They pick up a registration form, fill it out, and the classes will start on the 6th of April 2026. So this lab, why this lab or this ICT lab matters: give access to modern technology, digital skills for all, career and business growth, and then we are empowering the community at large. And this is the partnership initiative between Rating Tech Foundation and the Ministry of Youth and Sports, because the programs are being hosted at the Ministry of Youth and Sport youth centers. Right, we don't have our own space, but the Ministry of Youth and Sport has youth centers around the country. So we are using the youth center in San Nicolas, and we're also using the youth center in Grand Island, Zwedru, to host the IT lab, because they have developed spaces in there. We have one of the spaces in there that was renovated to be able to host the IT or the computer lab. So at the Zwedru Youth Center, and we have our WhatsApp phone numbers. There are two contact numbers. You can reach out to them if you use Zwedru and you need more information about the program. You can reach out to them and they'll give you further information. You can also find us on readtechfoundation.org. That is our website. You can read a lot about us and what we're doing and how you can be a part of helping to empower our community with digital skills and giving the young people some direction as when it comes to IT, career path, and the rest of the good stuff. So we are excited at Reach Tech Foundation because it's our second lab. So we are very, very excited. And then someone said, but is that the end of it? No, that's not the end of it. I will tell you that. We are moving next to Magibi, Kakata to be specific. We've been in touch with the youth coordinator for the youth and sports youth coordinator for Magibi County. We've been in touch with him. Through Messenger, just communicating as to what you have and what you want us to do. So we will be launching in Magibi, Kakata next. But the process hasn't started yet, but that is the next on our agenda. And then after Magibi, we'll be looking at bone counting. But all of these things are resource intensive. We need money, to transport equipment. We need money to, there has to be a renovation. We need money to do that. We need money for sustainment. We need money for staff. And there's a whole bunch of stuff I have to do. So you can be a part. You can be a partner. You can help us to make these a reality. You can donate in cash, in kind, in whatever way you can to be able to empower our communities in in Liberia, uh, West Africa to be specific. And what better way to spend your time or your resources than empowering your people, your brothers and your sisters, right? We're not doing it because we want to get paid. We're not doing it because we want to get some benefit. We're not doing it because we want to get profit. That's why it's a non-profit, because we are passionate about giving back to our community, and we thought that the best way we can give back is through what we know and what we have, and that's why we launched. We started a Rethink Tech Foundation to be able to provide awareness for digital, for IT awareness, uh, digital skills, and helping to establish computer labs around the country. And we are excited. It's a lot of work, as I said, but we are excited about it, and we are pushing on. We are moving on. This is our second, county we are dealing with, and we are moving to back in the next. But there's a lot of work to be done, as I said. So you can be a part of the process. You want to give your time. You want to give your resources. We are available. You can reach out to us through Messenger. You can DM us, and let's talk and see where you can fit in and see what you want to do. Or just want to volunteer. You live in Liberia, you want to volunteer to spread awareness at a particular school, in Monrovia, in Grand Basso, whatever it is. Let's team up. Let's team up and create that awareness, because we live in the 21st century and we live in the information age. So where information should be accessible to all of us. And the means by which information can be accessible is through digital means. So, and what we'll see in Liberia is that most of our population, our people, do not have access to these things, do not have these necessary digital skills, right, to function effectively within the 21st century. As a student, as an educator, as a business person, as a marketer, what do you find yourself doing? IT plays a major role in where you find yourself, right? Like, for example, a business person, if you have digital skills, you can put your business online. And instead of just being seen by people in your community, now you be seen by thousands of people who are online on Facebook and on a medium, right? Just by knowing how to navigate that digital space to put yourself out there in your business. Now, instead of having access to 1,000 customers, you have access to 10,000 customers, right? So the potential for that comes when we are digital literate or have digital skills is enormous. If you look on the one slide, I was talking about career growth, career and business growth. You want to grow your business, right? How do I grow my business? Currently, I have just a shop in Monrovia, right? People have to live from Grand Chile, people have to live from Sino, people have to live from all over Liberia to travel to Monrovia to be able to access your shop or your store. But guess what? If we were to that point where we have website, where we have developed to that point, we can make our shop available online, that people in Sino can sit there and order goods from our store online, and we ship it to them and they receive it in Sino, right? That is the power. So now, as I say, instead of having access to just 1,000 customers, You have access to 2, 3 million people around the country who can buy your product. You sitting in Morovia, and if the post office is working effectively, you can drop your item that the person purchased from your store, or the post office can pick it up from your store and ship it and transfer it to them, or transfer it to them in Sino, and they receive it, in 2 days, in 3 days, in a week, in 8 days, or in 9 days, or in 10 days. So IT has a lot of potential, and as a country, there's something we have to look at very seriously. So it comes with a lot of potential, with a lot of job opportunities. But we have to seize the moment. We have to seize that opportunity to utilize these things. Instead of having access to just 1,000 customers, now you have access to 2, 3 million people. Out of 2, 3 million people, if you just have 10,000 of them buying from your store, from your shop, do you know how much money your business will be making? And how much worthy you're going to become? So there's a lot that we can do as a country. So we are doing our part as an NGO to give individuals these digital skills that they need, and give them an understanding and appreciation for what IT can do. And getting people to understand that IT can serve as an engine of growth and productivity. And it brings about economic development in a country if it is implemented properly, where we have access to internet all around the country, where people can have access to internet. Then we start having a website, and where our postal service is working as it works in the US and other places, that I can sit in my house in Washington State and order a goods from Montana, and order goods from New York, and order goods from Rhode Island, and order from a business in Minnesota, and it gets delivered to my house within a couple of days. I don't have to move a needle. I don't have to travel to Minnesota to buy the goods. What are goods I want? It's the car, the refrigerator. I mean, whatever you want, you can buy it online. And guess what? It will come right to your doorsteps. You don't have to lift a finger. We can't get that to people. But it takes a country that's digitally literate and have that understanding and appreciation for technology to take that step. And then for the government also to create that enabling environment, because we talk about internet infrastructure. It's not the government have the resources to attract private investment and give them incentive to be able, have this internet infrastructure around the country. Then we can launch that. The government can make the postal service very efficient. Where we can post in Liberia, that we need. I don't know why this time we don't have an address system in Liberia. We don't, because in order to post from one place to another place, there must be an address. It must come from one address to another address. Where am I going to deliver this goods? There must be an address. So we need to work on that. We need to have an address system where all the houses have an address. That if we're going to digitize and do business online, people can sit anywhere and order these things, and they can direct that those steps. So it's a lot of potential, and our post office need to work as well. It's a lot of money to make in that regard. Because guess what? You go to the post office to post things, you gotta pay the post office money, right? Yeah. You gotta pay money at the post office to post a group to San Nicola, to Zwedru, to Sino, to Maryland, to Harper, to Greenville, to whatever you want to send your goods. You gotta pay money. You calculate, oh, it costs you $5 to ship it to San Nicola. You pay your $5, you leave. The post office gather all those things, and all of the items that are going to San Nicola, they load it on the San Nicola truck. You need a driver to drive that truck to San Nicola, right? So that's on hire. So the post office need more trucks, more vans to be able to deliver these goods around the country. So the more vans, the more trucks that the post office buys to be able to deliver these goods, around the country, the more people the post office will be employing to drive the buses and those vans and the trucks. And guess what? Now we're talking about maintenance. The post office have 15, 16 vans and 10 trucks. They need mechanics to maintain those fleets and manage them. So that's additional employment we're talking about right there. So if you think about it that way, you realize that IT, or information technology, brings about national development and national growth. It brings a lot of economic empowerment. And it brings about job growth. And before I leave, one of my favorite example is when it comes to IT providing job, just taking high schools in Liberia, for example, or other public schools, which will have 10,000. I don't have it up. I'm not too sure of the exact number of high school have. But I can do a little bit of search here. Give me a second here. Let me see what was the latest data on that one here. Just give me a second. Like to do a little bit of research here. Let me see. Number of public schools in Liberia, West Africa. All right. So let's take the number of public schools. It might not be an accurate prediction. I will go to Ministry of Education website to actually see what I did it before, but I can't remember that figure. But around 5,000 or more than that. Oh, it cannot. It's crazy. Okay, so say it's thinking. Using AI to my research, just so you know. I do a lot of research on using either Brook or Chat GPT. It does a lot of research and then it gives my results. So I'm waiting for it right now. So just imagine the number of public schools in my bureau, and we decide to digitize all of our public schools. What that means is that we want to have computer labs and fully functioning like computer for all our instructors. Like in the instructor lounge at school, we have fully computerized, and then the schools are fully computerized and we have a computer lab. And let's assume that in each of the schools we need probably three computer people, right? One for hardware, one trainer, and somebody else, manager or whatever that is. So if you have 5,000 schools and you have three instructors in each of the 5,000 schools or three IT people, so 5,000 schools times three, that's 15,000 individuals. 15,000. So imagine that just by digitizing our public schools alone and employing three computer instructors or people at that school, we're talking about 15,000 individuals that we've taken who are not working, they don't have a job, we're giving them a job, we're giving them a paycheck, times that by the number of people they have behind taking care of them, their families. So, do you know how many people you can empower? You can empower more than 20, 30, to 40,000 people just by digitizing all our public schools, where we agree as a country, as a society, that each public school will be fully digitized. Like what we live in the States, my kids bring home, they got all the schools assign computer to the kids, all the public schools. The kids have their own computer. They come home with their own Chromebook. I think from sixth grade, they come with their own computer, their own Chromebook. They got their assignments on there. They got their project on there. They do their own research on there. They provide a lot of different resources on there. So my son is doing his homework. He's on his Chromebook and he's doing his homework. And when they go to school, they use that computer in most of their classes. So from a very early age, the kids are being introduced to IT, right? So imagine the kids using a computer from sixth grade up to 12th grade. They're going to be very proficient at it. They're going to be very, very proficient at using that device. So we can do the same. But if we don't have the resources to give every student a PC, we can find the resources to have a fully functioning computer lab in each of our public schools. That when students go to school, they can attend computer section and learn about IT and learn about computer and learn how to utilize IT in a proper way. And that will create a lot of employment. So the simplest answer is the 2,500 And 45 public schools in Liberia. Like I said 5,000, but it says 2,005. That's what it says there. 6,000. So that's 6,394 registered schools in Liberia from 2024 to 2025 data. But it's safe to say, according to the research, that are 2,545 public schools in Liberia. All right. So IT is the engine of growth. It brings about economic development. It brings about career and business growth. It brings about community empowerment and empowering the young people and the youth of our country. So it's happening in Zwedru, Grand Chida County, on the 3rd of April 2026 at the Zwedru Youth Center. We are launching and opening the Zwedru IT lab or the computer lab. Registration is currently in progress, and your registration form can be picked up at the Zwedru Youth Center. Right? So thank you for watching. And if you want to be watching after here, this was Reach Tech Foundation. Just letting our viewers and our supporters know that we are launching and opening a brand new IT lab in Zwedru, Rangina County, and the launch date is April 10, 2026. And we will be officially starting classes there on the 6th of April. And registration is currently in progress in Zwedru. You can grab your form at the Zwedru Youth Center. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please stay safe out there. Let's do the right thing. Uh, let's look after each other. The world has been a very violent place these days where people are just angry at each other and going at each other for no reason online. So let's be cautious. Let's be kind. I believe when we're growing up, we were taught to be kind to other people. We were taught to be nice to other people. And the fact is that you don't know what other people are going through. So your kindness can help them to overcome whatever situation they're going through. But if you are not kind to them, you might drive them over the edge. So let's think about that. Let's put other people's interests before ourselves. We need to learn to support each other as a country, as a people. Uh, Let us combine efforts to make Liberia and the world a better place. There's a lot of evil in this world. We need a free space that we can exercise. We can be ourselves. Let's help other people. I mean, there's no greater calling in the world than being able to help other people, achieve their dreams and achieve what they've been destined for to achieve. So let us use our platforms for positive. Let's serve as positive role models for the next generation and the next people that will be coming after us. And but it's unfortunate that sometimes we fall short of these things, right? So, but we fall down, we get up, we wipe ourselves, and we continue pushing to do the right thing. And that's the best way to go. And that will help society and help us. So thank you once again. It's April 10. You're all invited. If you live in Zwedru, at the Zwedru Youth Center for the grand opening and launching of Reach Tech Foundation Computer Lab. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.